Now, solve the following equation. Everybody pretty much knows how to do this at this stage. 2 times 12 has to multiply to give you minus 24, but has to add to give you minus 5. I'm going for a minus 8 and a plus 3. So minus 8x plus minus 12. And what's next? What can I take out? 2x, yeah, into x minus 4 into 3 into minus 4 equals 0. 2x plus 3 and x minus 4 equals 0. Nearly there. 2x plus 3 equals 0. X minus 4 equals 0. X equals 4. X equals 2x equals minus 3. X equals minus 3 over 2. Okay, and pause. This question was originally, would everybody agree, this question was, it was 2x squared minus 5x minus 12. Is that correct? That was part 1. Everybody happy with that being part 1? Now here's what I'm going to do instead. I'm going to rewrite this question, except I'm not going to use, we know the answer for this question is 4 and minus 3 over 2, don't we? Is everybody right with that? Now, here's what I'm going to say instead. The answer for 2 times blank squared minus 5 times blank minus 12 equals 0. The answer for that question is simply blank equals minus 3 over 2 and blank equals 4. Okay? So what I did there was I released I got rid of the x's and I replaced the x's with a blank. Was it equals 4, wasn't it? Okay, let's pause this there. So what we're saying is that x got replaced with h over 2 plus 1. And we already know the answer for 2x squared minus 5x minus 12. Therefore, we can replace it with a blank sign. The blank can represent anything you want to change x with. For this particular question only, we want to replace x with h over 2 plus 1. So what we're going to have here is h over 2 plus 1, h over 2 plus 1. Then all of a sudden, what goes in the blank down here? H over 2 plus 1, and underneath, h over 2 plus 1. Now, h over 2 plus 1 equals minus 3 over 2. I need to get them a common denominator. What's the common denominator? 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. And then what do we get? H plus 2 equals 3. H equals minus 5. Is that alright? H equals minus 5. What about the other one? H over 2 plus 1 equals 4. What do you have to do this time? So change the bottom into, that's going to be 2 by, this one's going to be 2 by 2. H plus 2 equals, H equals 6. Alright. Alright, so reference number of 20 plus 20. Two numbers still multiply to give you 20, but I have to give you minus 12, minus 2 and minus 10. 4x squared minus 2x minus 10x plus 5 equals 0. 2x into 2x take away 1. Minus 5 into 2x take away 1. 0. 2x minus 5 into 2x minus 1 equals 0. 2x minus 5 equals 0. 2x minus 1 equals 0. 2x equals 1. X equals 1 over 2. 2x equals 5. X equals 5 over 2. Plus. Okay guys, what we have here is this. You're looking? The answer for the question of 4 blank squared minus 12 times blank plus 5. What have I done there? I've replaced x with what? A blank. This means the blank must be equal to 5 over 2. And the blank must be equal to a half. Is that correct? Instead of representing it by a letter, I'm representing it by a blank space. Do you got that? Next, in the next part of the question, what now occupies the blank space? T over 2 take away 1. The other T over 2 take away 1. This means T over 2 take away 1 is 5 over 2. T over 2 take away 1 must be a half. Now look at this, guys. Ready? Give it a common denominator. T over 2 take away 2 over 2 equals T take away 2 equals 5. What's T? 7. Finally, T over 2 take away 2 over 2 equals 1 over 2. What number take away 2 equals 1? 3. T equals 7, T equals 3. Hands up if you got them two. With question 9, guys, it has a quadratic equation like this. And you know what? I don't like minus x squared. Don't like it at all. How do I fix that? Multiply both sides by minus 1. It's the same question, isn't it? Because what I did to the left, I also did to the right. What do I have to do now? Order it. Is everybody happy that 20 plus ax minus x squared is in fact the same question as x squared minus ax minus 20? They're the same question. Now, anybody want to ask me anything about that first part? Next part. I'm now going to solve this equation here. So that's what I'm left with. X squared minus ax minus 20. It's the same thing as answering the question in 9 part 1. This guy and this guy are the same. X minus 10, x plus 2 equals 0. X equals 10. X equals minus 2. Everybody cool with that? Now, what I'm trying to say to you guys next is, if I had this equation here, if I had 20 plus 8 times blank minus blank squared equals 0, okay, what's the answer to that equation? What will blanks be equal to? Blank will equal, or blank will equal 2. Now that we understand that, what we're going to do is what's actually in the blank is what we're trying to figure out. Yeah, isn't it? It's x squared minus 3x squared minus 8 times x squared minus 3x minus 20. So what has the blank been filled? What's the blank been filled full of? That thing there, isn't it? Your blank has had this put into it. Now, sorry, one other thing, guys. Remember we said at the very beginning of the question, it's x squared minus 8x minus 20. Remember we changed it to that. Do you remember we changed it to that? So it's basically blank squared take away 8 times blank minus 20. And it's we figured out that we're putting the x squared minus 3x into the blank. Does that make sense? Perfect. Here's what we're going to do now. See those two answers in the corner? See the 10 and the minus 2? What are we going to put in the blank? Exactly. And there's two quadratic equations. This is what's going to happen here. You're going to have x squared minus 3x minus 10 equals 0. That means x minus 5, x plus 2. That means your x value is 5. Your x value is minus 2. What about the second one? X squared minus 3x, bring over the 2. Plus 2. What next? X minus 2 and x minus 1 equals 0. What's the two answers? 2 and 1. How many answers did 9 part 2 have? Had 4 different answers. Alright, David, will you tell me?